Hey, so I'm going to make you just a short little video just to talk about the exam question, the one regarding the benefits, the positive aspects to not enacting expansionary fiscal policy. So let me do this. I'm going to show you a little picture. Okay, so the exam question itself, let me just go to it here precisely. So active negotiations over enacting expansionary fiscal policy. So expansionary fiscal policy, as we know, it takes one of two forms: increasing government spending or reducing taxes. So what are the positive and negative consequences in terms of GDP, which is production, employment, and prices if we do nothing? Now, mainly it's negative consequences. So that's why much of the focus of lawmakers would be on why you have to do something. So if we do nothing, then GDP is going to go down, employment is going to go down, and prices are going to go down. Now, the reason why this is because, right, if people stop spending as much money because they're scared about the future, then consumption is falling, businesses start to buy less inventory, so that would lead to GDP falling. And if GDP is falling, then there's going to be fewer people working, right, just because you're making less stuff. So we could either structure it as employment, or you could structure it as the opposite of unemployment. Let's just structure it as employment. Employment would go down. So now you've got an economy that's basically slowing down. So because the economy is basically slowing down and no one is spending money, then prices tend to fall as well. If we look at this like an overall picture of real GDP, then in terms of the aggregate demand, and let's just put here long run aggregate supply, then my aggregate demand curve would be shifting inward. Now, in the long run, you'd see none of these effects, but remember, we can also look at this from the perspective of the short run aggregate supply, which is completely horizontal where prices are fixed. And in the short run, we would see that decrease in the real GDP. Now, you're not going to see that decrease in prices in the short run, but in the long run, you will. As you see right here to here, that prices are falling. That right there, the prices falling, is actually the only positive consequence to doing nothing at all. Because if you do something, if you do engage in expansionary policy, the negative of that is that it does increase prices in the long run. And that right there is the only reason why someone should really oppose engaging in expansionary policy during an economic crisis, is because you're fearful of inflation. Okay, I hope that helps.